episode of Market Dialogue, brought to you by Dubai Economy in collaboration with Khalij Times. Market Dialogue is an initiative that's aimed to invite and host a government official to discuss a topic that concerns the community. And today we have with us Engineer Saad Al-Awadi to talk more about the exports industry, the logistics and exports during COVID, the advantages of being in Dubai. Welcome, Engineer Saad Al-Awadi.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Maria.
I would like also to remind all of our followers on social media that to attend and join us on Zoom, you can find the link in the bio of Dubai Economy's Instagram at Dubai_DED. And for whomever is with us today, thank you for joining us. And you can feel free to drop all of your questions in the chat box. So to start with, Engineer Saad, how well equipped is the logistics and exports sector in Dubai to overcome the impact of COVID-19?
Thank you, Mariam, for hosting me today. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Can answer this question by 20 years plan of Dubai. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, Allah yahfadha, 20 years ago started with Internet City, Media City, and all this e-government and technology, the connectivity and between the government departments and the government services showed and helped us at these difficult times how that was important and foresighted by Sheikh Mohammed. As you know that in Dubai, we did not have even a small hiccup of providing our services to our customers and clients and all stakeholders because we were very well equipped technically and personally. So to answer your question exactly, I think the Dubai exports or Dubai were very, very well equipped. The logistics sector is an important part of Dubai's economy, supplemented by the excellent infrastructure, of course. And almost all of the world's largest logistics firms are based in Dubai with global connectivity. So the infrastructure and connectivity are prerequisite for dealing with logistic issues that arose during COVID-19. However, what was evident was the ability of the sector to work with the authority, not only in Dubai and the UAE, but also keep the supply lines running worldwide. One has to appreciate that COVID-19 brought challenges that companies had not planned, or even the government not planned for. So there was a need to rethink solutions. The experience of the sector ensured appropriate solutions were developed. If I can add also that to overcome these challenges, we work regularly with our exporters and customers.
Yeah, so this brings us to the next question. I can see a question that says, is Dubai Exports engaging exporters and manufacturers to find out their most pressing concerns and challenges? Have you met them? Have you discussed things with them during this pandemic?
Yes, of course. One of the most important areas of our work is to regularly talk and meet with exporters and industry bodies. Therefore, it was normal and natural during the COVID-19 period that we kept this channel of communication open. As a result, we were able to learn about the problems that our companies were experiencing. We had a dedicated team established whose role was to solve the problems encountered by exporters, and we were able to solve the problems we did in cooperation.
Yeah, Rashid, can you tell us what sort of problems they face? Like the most common problem that those exporters faced, and you managed to help them easily. Is there an example?
Yes. Then the number one was exporting. You know, the procedures, because you know most of the countries had restrictions in the inward and outwards. Both in the land, the sea, and also by air. So this was the major one, and we immediately, as a mission, we had a team who was working or dedicated to solve this. The government immediately formed. They formed a lot of committees, but the committees we were involved were three higher committees. One in the sector of food security, and second is food and hygiene manufacturing, and the third in trading in general. And these committees or groups were from the highest level to the federal government to the local government. And they were working almost 24 hours, connected online and even physical, for solving these issues. For example, I'll tell you an example with the food security issue. India, they immediately stopped everything to leave India or even to come India. So this affected the supply for basmati rice, for example. And we needed for the food security, 6-month supply or 1-year supply. So immediately we look at other sources, and yes, India dropped, but the rest of the countries we could double and quadruple it. So this was, the action we're taking from the highest point in our government, federal level and the local level.
Excellent. But Rashid, we've been hearing in the news a lot of exports, a lot of things that were being exported from the UAE to the region. Did COVID-19 impact the flow of exports, or is it definitely with the interruption of the international supply chain where things were closed? How were the facilities in Dubai, being in Dubai? Were our ports open? Were our facilities available? How was that?
Yes, there was, because this pandemic was not planned, there was some difficulty in understanding what's next and what's happening. But thanks God, alhamdulillah, in Dubai, we were ready for any changes, we are very agile. So and somewhere closed, we can open the next area. So we had, what they call it, we did a considerable change in the manner in which global value chain will be carried out. So we foresee a move from global production to regional production. So we needed to, look at some supply chain in the regional more than global. And also as a result, we saw a greater move toward security stocks of essential products. Okay, so we look at manufacturing, how we can support. For example, our team with the Ministry of Energy and Manufacturing immediately formed a team, including the manufacturers, the major manufacturers. We saw, how they can provide the food security issues and health and hygiene and medical supply. So we brought them together and we told them, what do you need? We are ready. So we cut all the red lines, all the pre-approvals and so on. We told them, if you need to make a new line for, I mean, you are manufacturing, for example, papers. Okay, if you want to have a line for masks or antiseptic and so on, we give them approval immediately and support them so that can have a supply, not only for Dubai and the UAE, it's also for the region.
Amazing. That's a great job done. Actually, we as citizens living in Dubai, we did not feel that there were any kind of items out of stock, and the supply was continuously available. Another question says, how did the UAE exports and logistics sector perform during the pandemic? Which sectors do you see as most promising? I think you already mentioned the sectors that, but then which ones are more promising other than the food, hygiene? So these are the three main sectors. Did we export any other items beyond these?
See, the rest of the companies, similar to the food and hygiene and medical, had also difficulties because of the issues with the logistics, but it was not as priority at this time as our three top products. But also, for example, some companies in furniture, manufacturing furniture, they had some difficulties with the border in Saudi Arabia. So we had connection at the high level and make that easy for them. As you know, Mariam, that a lot of companies who's doing trading or manufacturing, they use Dubai as a hub for the region. So what they produce is not only for the UAE consumptions, but for the whole Middle East and North Africa region. So they had this difficulty in connectivity, but alhamdulillah, as you know, time went and we did some kind of coordination and connection with the Ministry of Economy, Ministry of Health, and Ministry of Energy and Manufacturing to ease their exports. And most of our efforts were successful. Some of them was a little bit more difficult, and it was priority-wise, you know. Some thing which is related to immediate need, like health, hygiene, food, were solved immediately. Other ones were put as next priority.
I can see a couple of questions around the government incentives, Rashid. So the UAE government and specifically Dubai government as well, there were different incentives launched and rolled out at the federal level and the local level to support the businesses during COVID-19. How were these incentives beneficial to the exporters? And are there any specific stimulus packages coming on the way for those exporters and manufacturers in Dubai beyond facilitating, cutting off the red tapes and the bureaucracy and giving them all of these permits and whatever they require to perform and repurpose their production lines is one. What other incentives that are there that are beneficial for the manufacturers and they want to know more about it?
This is a very anticipated question because everybody was asking, you know, what is the incentives, and some of them did not feel it, some of them they were happy with it. But the good thing is that the Dubai government launched perhaps maybe the largest packages of this type in the history to support companies and business sector in Dubai. The package sought to enhance liquidity and reduce the impact of global economic situation. The stimulus package developed by Dubai government included 15 initiatives focused on commercial sector, retail, external trade, tourism, and energy sector. This was supported by the central bank, so it is Dubai level and UAE level, which launched a 100 billion comprehensive economic scheme for retail and corporate, what they call corporate customer affected by COVID-19. These measures, of course, consisted of 50 billion from the central bank, funds through collateralized loans, all right, at zero cost, and another 50 fund freed up for banks' capital buffers. So this immediately reduced pressure on the banks so that banks can provide better service to their customers, especially SME. Okay, and this was also supported by many other stimulus. The UAE cabinet has approved a 16 billion economic stimulus package as part of the federal government, additional measure to support the national economy, ensure business continuity, and mitigate the coronavirus impact. The Dubai Free Zones Council also announced an economic stimulus package to complement the Dubai government's efforts to overcome COVID-19 situation. The support package from other Emirates also had a considerable impact. I have here, for example, Mariam, a list of how many, let me see, it's more than 123 stimulus incentive provided for the whole economic sector.
Yeah, but Rashid, this reminds me of, to highlight one important thing, that exporters, wherever they are based in the UAE, you're still supporting them from Dubai, being Dubai a major exporting destination with the infrastructure that we have. Can we talk about further about the infrastructure of exporting in Dubai? Can you shed the light on the facilities that we have in Dubai?
Okay, you mean, see, this answer is very easy because Dubai is a global hub. And why it's global hub? Because of its infrastructure, communication, seaport, airport, اتصالات, ease of doing business, the way of, I mean, the life in Dubai. So there is very, our long list of these.
Why Dubai?
Why? So
exactly.
If we talk about, the lockdown, March lockdown, when in February it was announced that Dubai saw remarkable external trade growth in 2019, all right? And we were planning for increasing our trade to 2 trillion in 5 years, and the growth rate in 2019 was around 5.7 increment. So this figures thought that everything was smooth, but when the COVID came, things changed. Okay, for example, the non-oil external trade last year, as I told you, grew around 19% in volume, from 91 million tons in 2018 to 109 million tons. Okay, this is the non-oil external trade. Okay, if I tell you some logistics figures in Dubai, the re-export rose by 48%.
Wow.
Okay, yeah,
48%.
48%. The re-export between 2018 and 19. In terms of value, Dubai external trade surged 6%, exactly 5.7%. Yes, from 1.299 trillion to 1.371 trillion. Exports increased by 22% to 155 billion. The highest traded commodity by value was gold, jewelry, diamonds, and contributed to around 370 billion dirhams. China remained Dubai's largest trading partner, contributed to around 150 billion. India was the second biggest trading partners, contributing around 135 billion, followed by USA and Switzerland. So the figures are promising, and they are in the good direction. The COVID-19 will affect in changing, but I don't think it will reduce. It will only change the priorities.
Exactly. So this brings us to the second question. With all of these facilities in Dubai, with all of these promising figures of the previous performance and COVID, what are the opportunities for those manufacturers during COVID? So as you said, it will change the priorities. However,
yes.
will it change the opportunities for those manufacturers? What can they embark on?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, as long as they are in Dubai, we provide full support. Okay, so we are working with different government entities in Dubai and the UAE federal level to ensure that trade keep going. We want to ensure that, and we guarantee it. During the COVID-19, the companies, of course, had a lot of challenges, as I discussed earlier. Our services ranged from advocacy, advice, what they call it, research, yes, providing a team of staff to deal on ground on the obstacles they have and try to solve most of these issues.
Interesting. So the expectations of the future, everyone is concerned and worried. COVID is here, the business is slowing down, supply chains, international supply chains are interrupted. What I see from my own perspective, the movement of passengers are being interrupted, but the movement of goods are still there. However, will there be any interruption for that in the future? Will COVID really affect the international supply chain?
Yeah, of course, there is some effect, but this is global. Okay, so the effect is much. It's big, but we are in Dubai. We love challenges, and we want to overcome this. We have this. There's nothing impossible, and we. For example, I told you, in our team, we're discussing the food and medical and hygiene. The team in Emirates Airlines, yes, they have problems with passengers, but what they did, for example, I think 29 of their passenger airplanes, they immediately converted to cargo, remove the seats and increase the cargo. And they had daily connectivity with the region. For example, they have a couple of flights, more than the regular ones, to all the GCC countries, North Africa, and the rest of the world. So yes, the passenger stopped, but immediately, as I told you, the business in Dubai is very agile, very elastic. So immediately they provide what needed, shifted passengers to cargo, and so on.
Is this a sign, Rashid, is this a sign that the cargo consumption and movement increased because the current capacity of the current fleet was expanded to transform the passenger fleets into to cargo? Does this mean that the cargo increased?
It modified. For example, what happens is that we had difficulty in the land transshipment or transport. So what happened is that we shifted to air, we shifted to the sea. So yes, there is some kind of increase, but the most important point is that what we did is that we had a good firefighting. You know, we have a problem here, immediately solve it with other solution. All all the companies in Dubai are very, very agile, and they immediately find a solution. Somewhere door closed, they open 10 doors.
I can see a question in here from a furniture manufacturer in Dubai. He's saying he is unable to send shipments, materials to Bahrain and Kuwait. Is it because of the borders or is it because of the air? So can we, is the road usually?
Most of these, I mean, large size products like furniture, usually for the GCC country go by land transportation. Yes, land transportation, they had some difficulties in the borders, especially with Saudi Arabia, because of course of the COVID-19 issue. And the Saudis, they were, I mean, to protect what do you call it, the COVID-19 issue, they had some restrictions. They did not stop, okay, but they had restrictions regarding the drivers and some procedures for tests and so on.
COVID tests,
yeah, COVID tests and the drivers. Yeah, so there was no issue with the cargo or the furniture. The issue was the drivers, but immediately we raised this to the higher officials, and we solved most of these issues.
Excellent. So the road transportations remained as is, but with precautionary measures to combat COVID, and to ensure that the drivers, the truck drivers who are transmitting and transporting the actual goods are not transmitting COVID while they're going on.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great thing. If those exporters wanted to have further information on these kind of regulations, is there any place where they can access those kind of procedures of what they have to do before crossing the borders, land borders?
Yes. We have what they call it, a whole team of experts that can help companies on their exporting journey from A to Z. So we are there for them. We have our team in Dubai. We have our team in more than 24 cities all around the world. Our branches, all these team are what they call it, are ready to answer all questions, solve the issues they have, even go all the way to contact the government departments who are responsible of make their life easy. We can do this to solve the issues.
Thank you, Rashid, for this informative session, and I would like to thank all of our followers for following us today and being with us. For further inquiries and future topics, please follow us on Dubai Economy's social media handles at Dubai_DED, post your topics, post your concerns, and we'll host them in our future Market Dialogue episodes. Thank you, Burashid. And if there are any further questions for Burashid, Dubai is the CEO of Dubai Exports, please also post them on social media and we'll make sure to attend to all of your queries. Thank you.
Shukran, Mariam. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.